This is your friendly reminder to never settle. How you do anything is how you do everything. And so it is so important that you don't settle for anything other than what you know you deserve. I'm doing it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. I'm going to try not to get emotional. I'm already feeling some ways. It's been a long time coming. Hi, I'm Ashley. It's been a while. It's been a full year. I made one YouTube video a year ago, and this is my second one. And I want to talk to you about why it's taking me a full 12 months to make my second YouTube video. And it's all about me working through my own journey of 100% self acceptance, living my life out in its fullness, and being comfortable with everyone not liking that. It's also been about me feeling very stuck. I want to talk to you about how I am working to get unstuck, some things that led me to getting stuck, what that even means to feel stuck, and how you can possibly get unstuck. So let's get into it. Just to set the groundwork for what I'm talking about here, I'm an attorney. I have been working towards the goal of becoming an attorney for most of my life. And 3 years ago, I quit my job and moved to New York and started my own law firm. This is something that I have dreamed of doing since I was 17 years old. What I didn't realize when I moved to New York City was that it would open me up in a way that I wasn't ready for and that I was uncomfortable with accepting. I had dibbled and dabbled in these other parts of myself that were not necessarily tied to being a lawyer, but I've always shied away from it because I thought I could only be one thing. Or I thought that I could only be taken seriously if I was doing this one thing because it's the thing that I've worked most of my life to get to. But a funny thing happened just this past week. I just got back from London and I had the most amazing experience. When I travel, I love to just let my hair down and really immerse myself in the experience of being in a new place and enjoy the culture and the people and the food and any kinds of experiences that I might not necessarily have if I was in the States. And this trip was one that I kind of battled with because things have not been going so great with my law firm. So the money was looking kind of funny, and I was thinking maybe I should cancel this trip and save my money, and maybe I can just go another time. But I felt in my heart, in my spirit, that London was calling me. I had gone 2 years ago and I had a really short trip there. And I always felt like I gotta come back here. I gotta come back here. And so that feeling of feeling like I was being called to go there is what really kept me moving forward and operating in faith when I was really worried about finances. The whole reason why I was going to London was because I'm a part of this collective that is creating a new movement in the fashion industry, starting a fashion week that involves creative individuals, all black and brown from all over the world. And we've decided to house the event in London. I was to host and MC one night of the fashion week, something I've never done before in my life. And although I was scared and a little nervous about it, I pulled it off. I had a blast. It was so much fun. I enjoyed myself so much. I had people doing the Cupid shuffle. I had people doing the electric slide. And we were laughing and talking. And I was really getting the crowd engaged in what our mission is and also drawing their attention to the amazing designers that we brought in and just making it an immersive experience for everyone who was attending the event. Everything went off without a hitch. I wasn't surprised because I believe in the team that I'm working with. One thing that happened while I was there was one of the models is also a singer, and she invited me to be in her visualizer for her new single. I didn't even know what a visualizer was, but I just felt like I'm in this new space. People are inviting me to do creative things, and I'm down for it. And so I went to this visualizer. I arrived. All the other models were there, the stylists, the videographers, everyone was there, and we just vibed out. I was definitely outside of my comfort zone, way out of my comfort zone, but I just went with it and I had so much fun. It really just lit me up inside. And I honestly needed that. Then, while I was at the visualizer, one of the videographers asked me if I would be interested in doing a photo shoot while I'm in London. And I was like, hell yeah. All of these things just kept happening in a more creative space, a space that I've always wanted to be a part of, not just as the lawyer in the room, but also just as the creative. And I was just having these experiences and these opportunities that were really just dropping in my lap, which I know they weren't really dropping in my lap. It was very much ordained and ordered. But it just really brought me so much joy. And I was having so much fun. And I was feeling so free. And I felt at peace. I was a little nervous, but the nerves couldn't even really touch me like that. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, it just couldn't even penetrate the way that it had been in the past. And while I was there, I started to realize something about myself. More recently, I have been struggling mentally a lot, mentally, emotionally, all kinds of different ways. And I realized I've been feeling very stuck. I had felt like something was off with me, but I couldn't pinpoint what it was. And I realized through this experience of going to London and really allowing myself to be free and just experience what was happening around me and being present and not overthinking was how much I had shut that creative part of myself off. And it was really taking a toll on me more than it had ever in my life. And so that's why I want to share this with you, because I know that I'm not the only person that's dealing with this. I know that so many of us are multifaceted. So many of us are multi hyphenates. So many of us have so many different dimensions, interests, passions, talents, and gifts. And a lot of times we only allow ourselves to really explore one of those things or two, and then we call that our purpose. But what I think is, I often hear people relate their purpose to like a position that they have. Their job is their purpose. But the way that I see it, and the more that I experience life and have all of these different things that happen that really kind of hit home for me and make me take a step back, I realize that our purpose is honestly about us living our lives out the way God made us, fully, in every way. And what that does is it helps others by us doing that. So that can look like me being a lawyer, but that can also look like me being a model. That could also be me being a stylist for someone, or me hosting an event when someone needs that, and being able to pour into people and encourage people and draw their attention to a particular cause or mission where that didn't exist before. So it can look like so many different things. And I think for me, I realize how much I have to honor every part of myself. And I implore you to do the same. I've had a bout of depression over the past few months that I could not explain. I just couldn't explain what was going on with me. I felt like things were going pretty good for me. I felt like I had a full life, but I realized because I was shutting myself off from expressing myself fully, it was causing me depression. I actually talked to my therapist about this, and she told me that by not expressing yourself and holding that in and suppressing yourself, it can cause depression. It can be detrimental to your mental health to close yourself off, to make yourself small, to dim your own light. And that's exactly what I have been experiencing. And having gone to London and just gotten back a couple days ago, it's very ripe. It's very fresh on me right now. And so me making this video is my first attempt at not doing all the things that I just said, shutting myself down, rejecting myself, telling myself, no, you can't do this, and dimming my own light and closing out the possibilities for myself, because I feel really abundant right now, and I don't always feel this way. And so I'm trying to take advantage of this moment and share this with you in hopes that it reaches you in a time when you need it as well. Because I can only speak from my experience, but I know and I've heard how my experience can inspire others. So I just wanted to share some things that I've realized about feeling stuck. I feel like a lot of my depression that I've been experiencing has been around me feeling stuck. What I've come to realize about feeling stuck is that feelings aren't facts. I'm not really stuck. It's just there's an internal part of myself that is at a standstill. And I think it's caused by a few things. One, I feel like I'm I've felt stuck because I am battling between my head and my heart. My head and my heart are not aligned right now. My heart is wanting to go this way and my head is wanting to go that way. And so it's this tug of war. It's like this tug of war where I'm just stuck in the same spot. Like I might get a little bit this way and then I move myself back that way. And then and I'm stuck like that. And I realized how much I really believe in the saying that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. That is the epitome of what I'm talking about right now. Our spiritual being, the spiritual part of us, our heart, our soul, our spirit will lead us down one path. Whereas because we're humans, this right here, as powerful as it is, it can also stop us. It can also cause us to be stagnant. It can also cause us to be complacent in a way because we want to be safe. And this takes me to my next point. A lot of times, us feeling stuck is a direct result of fear. 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 Oh my God. I feel like that's the biggest struggle I've had in my life is fear. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. It's like sometimes it's not even what's actually happening, it's what I'm scared of happening. And so that's what causes me to operate in a certain way, not do certain things, and just make my life harder. But again, because I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, that human experience part of me is I am in a body and I have to protect it, right? But we take it to the extreme a lot of times. A lot of times we want to overprotect ourselves. And because of that, sure, there are certain things that are real dangers, right? But a lot of times we are so hell bent on protecting ourselves that we also protect ourselves from amazing things because we're scared. And so the last thing that I would say about why this happens is because sometimes when we're stuck, it's because God finally wants us to pass the test for the last time, for us to learn the lesson for the last time. And so when something keeps happening over and over and over again, it can feel like you're in a hamster wheel and you're not going anywhere. And it's because you haven't learned the lesson that you need to learn in this season, or like across many seasons, because I feel like I've had this same revelation about myself and needing to honor my full self and explore and express myself in every facet of the way for years. For years. This isn't the first time this has come up. But what I realized is this is it. I cannot go through this anymore with myself. I'm just stalling my calling. One of my friends has a hat that says, "Stop stalling your calling." I need to get that hat ASAP. But I'm stalling my own calling. And my calling is not necessarily to do one thing really well. Sometimes it can be two, three, four, five things. I don't know, but as much as I've tried to avoid it, as much as I've tried to reject that part of myself, close that part of myself off, delay it, say, I'm going to do this first, and then I'll get to do these other things later once I've done this, I'm stuck here in this space of feeling like I have to do this now, of feeling like I feel unfulfilled. I don't feel at peace. I have had so many sleepless nights over the past few months. And the last time that this happened was when I was engaged and I was this close to getting married. The last time that my insomnia was this bad was that time. And God was speaking to me then, and I was ignoring him for a really long time when he was saying, "You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. You need to get out of this." And now in this situation, he's saying, "You need to do this. You need to do this. You have to do this." But it's the same thing. And so here I am again, and God is telling me, "You need to take care of this. It's time for you to learn this lesson before it's too late." And so I told myself, this year, I want to learn new lessons. I don't want to learn these same lessons over and over and over again. Give me some new ones, okay? Let me learn these so I can move on to the new ones, okay? I'm trying to be wise up in here. I'm trying to progress and evolve. I don't want to be stuck in the same spot, learning the same lesson that I already know. Because when the revelation came to me, when the epiphany came to me, I was like, I already know this. But look how I'm acting. And it took me going across the world to London for me to realize it for the umpteenth time that I need to just learn this lesson already. Okay. So here I am learning this lesson again, but this is where I want to take you to what I'm doing to get myself unstuck. Number one, just do the damn thing. Whatever you're feeling stuck about, just do it. Like Nike say, just do it. Just take the first step. Just start. Just try. Give yourself an opportunity to really get real with yourself and realize that this ain't going nowhere. That's the thing about it, right? Whatever you're feeling stuck about, this thing has probably been in the back of your mind for years. And best believe it's not going anywhere. It's going to be with you till the day you die. Whether you actually live it out or it always stays suppressed, it will always be in you. So why not just live it out? Number two, if you don't even know exactly what's going on with yourself, if you're like, I feel stuck and I don't even know what I'm stuck about, take some time to yourself, whether it's going on a trip. If you can't do that, just have a staycation in your home. It could be 1 or 2 days. I promise you, when you drown out the noise of the world, society, what everybody else thinks, everyone else's opinions, and just have some time just with yourself. And if you believe in God, some time with you and God, you will be surprised what is revealed to you in that quiet time. I've done this and I was doing this monthly, but because I think I was starting to be uncomfortable with what was coming up, I stopped doing it. I would take 1 day a month, turn off my phone, no TV, no music, and just sit with myself. No talking to anyone, no social media, and just sit with myself. And when I tell you, it's crazy the things that will come up for you when you do something like that. Now, that's what works for me. Maybe you can find another version of that works for you. Some people actually do fasting, like from food. That doesn't really work for me because I can go a while without eating, honestly, because I'll just be working or doing something else or, something like that. But whatever works for you to where you can really get quiet with yourself, do that thing so you can really hear just what your heart has to say. Okay? It's so important to listen to your own wisdom because it's there. It's just a matter of if you honor it, if you're willing to listen to it, and if you give it the space to even express itself, because sometimes we can even shut ourselves internally down so much to where we're like, I don't know if I can say, can I even say, are you okay with me saying this to you? Like, we have to be open. Okay, so finding a way to be open with yourself so that you can even hear your own self. I know that probably sounds crazy, but listen, let me tell you, it's real. Think about what you really want. Think about what you really want and what you feel like you can't have. That takes me to my next point. Think about what you really want and for some reason you feel like you can't have it. Think about that. Think about the things that you feel like are unattainable for you right now and be honest with yourself. It might feel really uncomfortable with some of the thoughts that come up, but that's the power of really paying attention to what you were thinking, because what you think That's what you are. What is as a man thinketh, I don't know. But you know what I'm saying. As a man thinketh, so is he, blah. As a woman thinketh, so is she. You know what I'm saying. What you think is what you do, is what you are, is how you act, is what you eat, is everything is based on how you think. So get inside your mind and figure out what it is that you're telling yourself about for some reason why you're having this struggle. Your heart is saying this and your mind is saying that. And for some reason, there is some kind of disconnect. And these need to be like this. These need to be like this. Hello? Okay? One thing that I do anytime I'm feeling stuck is I will make a list of all the negative thoughts that I'm having. And so what I will task you to do is do something similar. So what you'll do is you'll take a sheet of paper and on the left side, you will write the negative thoughts that you're having. And then on the other side, you'll write a positive thought or an affirming thought, a Bible verse, an affirmation, a quote, whatever it is that will counter that thought. And you're going to meditate on these two things as often as you need to. I would say maybe once a day, maybe before, like when you wake up and at night. Just try to start doing that, because what's going to happen is you're going to think of when you have that negative thought, it's automatically going to be paired with this positive thought to counteract it and to overcome it. It has to be something powerful enough to where when you see this one thought and you have this one thought, you're like, psh, forget that thought. It has to be something powerful enough. So that's something that's really up to you. So, for example, one thought, I'm just going to read you one of mine. Okay. So, one of my thoughts that I have is people will judge you and doubt you if you are modeling or being a content creator when your real job is being a lawyer. And my counter thought is the right people will embrace me and appreciate me for being my full self. The others aren't my people and don't matter. So, that's just one example of writing that negative thought that when I tell you that thought runs through my head all the time. You're a lawyer. You're only supposed to do this. You're only supposed to be this way. You're only supposed to do it like that. You're supposed to look like this. You're supposed to act like that. You can't be out here modeling. You can't be a content creator. You can't be an influencer. That's not what lawyers do. All of those kinds of thoughts, I have to counter them with these other thoughts of, says who? Honestly, who are you to tell me what to do with my life? Okay. So these kinds of things is what I want to offer to you as a way to overcome that feeling stuck, because we all experience it, but the thing is, it's literally in our head. We're not really stuck. And a lot of times when we feel stuck, the fear causes us to freeze. And what happens is our perspective is limited and we can't see everything. We can't see things from an abundant mindset. And so we don't see the possibility of how things can work out in a way that we might not have ever imagined. Maybe because we haven't seen it work out that way for anyone else, but because we're scared. We are multifaceted. We don't have to show up one way. We can be our full selves. And sometimes we get stuck thinking about what society is going to say. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of not having certain opportunities, fear of it not working out, fear of whatever. I'm offering this video to you as my exemplification of overcoming my fear, of becoming unstuck, and of showing you that it's possible and that there is a way through it. So if you're not already, I hope you're subscribed to my channel. And if you want to follow me on Instagram to see what I'm up to when I'm breaking through and breaking free from this feeling of I can only be one version of myself, follow me on Instagram at I am Ashley Cloud. You can also follow me on TikTok at the same name. Thank you and have a great day.